Hi, it's Paul here from selfoutforlife.com, and today I'm going to reveal the 7 secrets to achieving big goals. So what is a big goal? Well, it's any goal that is life-changing and is likely to take several months or even years to complete. So examples could include starting a new business, or a major change in your career direction, or a significant reduction in weight, maybe 20% of your body weight, or achieving a qualification such as a university degree, especially if you're doing it part-time and you're juggling that with other things such as a job or career. So I'm now going to cover my 7 secrets to help you achieve your big goals in life. So the first one is to measure your progress. With a big goal, the reward for achieving it could be several months or years away. And you're not going to get the reward until you've completed it or you're close to completing this big goal. So you need some ways to measure your progress. You need some smaller steps so you can see where you're going and you can see that you're going in the right direction. So what I recommend you do is break down this big goal into smaller steps and give yourself a reward each time you achieve that smaller step. So the second one is perseverance. This is the ability to keep going when the results are not immediate. And to do this, you need to have a clear vision of the end result, and you need to remind yourself of that end result regularly. And when you do that, this will really help you to keep sticking to the work involved to achieve this goal. And this is easier if you have smaller goals, stepping stone goals, because then you can see the smaller successes and you know that you're on the right track, and that will help you to continue to persevere. So the third one is having the flexibility to change direction. If you do the same thing, you will generally get the same result. Now, it's important that you do the same thing consistently because it can sometimes take time to get any result at all. And I think 6 months is a good time frame to see if what you're doing is working. But as you're doing that, if you keep measuring your progress, you can then decide after a certain period of time, say after 6 months, whether what you're doing is working or whether it's time for a different approach. So it's important to be flexible and to try and do different things whilst keeping the end goal in mind so you don't go off track. And I think there's a balance here between being flexible and dabbling. So being flexible is giving things a reasonable chance to succeed and then making an objective decision to try a different approach if that's necessary. Dabbling is when you try something like a business opportunity for a couple of months and you don't see any immediate success, so you do something else and then you do something else without giving something enough time. So make sure you don't dabble. You do something long enough to see if it's working and then have the flexibility to change course if you need to. The next one, number 4, is to quieten the noise. So this is quietening the mental noise in your head. So whenever you do something that is new, whenever you do something that is uncomfortable, or when things are not going as well as you expect, your unconscious mind will try and protect you. And the way it does that is by giving you negative self-talk. So starting to give you doubts that you may not be able to achieve this, or it might start questioning why you're doing what you're doing, or it might start to question the work involved. So when that happens, know that that's okay. Know that that's just part of doing new things and part of the journey. And a great thing to do is just say the word stop, or just ignore it and just keep moving on. And the more you focus on your goal and your dream instead, the less time it gives your brain to think about those things and those doubts as well. And the same for when you experience negative feelings such as procrastination or a lack of motivation. Again, just ignore those feelings and just take action anyway. So the next one, number 5, is daily habits. And this is a biggie for me. This is about taking consistent action every day to get you one step closer to achieving this big goal. And for me, the best time is first thing in the morning when I get up. I find I'm really fresh and alert at that time, and also I get a lot less distractions. And it's also nice to start the day knowing that you've achieved something towards a big important goal in your life. And it means you don't have to think about the fact you need to do that later in the day because you've already done it. So that's a great feeling to have. And when you first start, you're going to need motivation, you're going to need perseverance, and you're going to need tenacity. That you need all those things to keep going, but eventually it will start to become a habit. And when it becomes a habit, you need less motivation, less perseverance, and less tenacity, because it just gets easier and easier over time. And when you keep doing that work, consistently, it starts to compound over time, because the benefits of the work you did yesterday and last week and last month start to compound and help you achieve that goal even faster. And it's interesting also that people often overestimate what they can achieve in a day, a week, a month, or even a year. But people tend to underestimate what they can achieve in, say, 3, 4, or 5 years. And I think that's because people often aren't consistent. People don't do things consistently for sort of 2, 3, 4 years. But when you do, it's amazing how much more you can achieve than what you thought you could. So the next one, number 6, is patience. And this is a big one for me too. And it's one I struggle with. I don't find this easy because, I want things to happen quickly. I want things to happen now. But big goals rarely go to plan, and some things just take longer than you want them to take. So it's important that you're grateful with where you are and you appreciate the progress that you've made so far as well. And you work on developing patience, because when you develop patience, that leads to calmness, and it also helps you become more clear-headed. And calmness and being clear-headed are two very important things to have when you're working on big goals. So the last one, number 7, is to never give up. So never give up on your ultimate goal or dream. Sometimes this can be the single difference between someone who's successful and someone who's not, is that the successful person never gave up. And I've heard so many times of people that have given up when they're so close to success. They just didn't know they were so close. Now, sometimes you do need to make a dramatic change in direction to achieve your ultimate goal, and that's okay. Again, if you've given something a fair shot, sometimes a dramatic change in approach is necessary. But whatever happens, even if that's the case, you're always going to have the learnings, the experiences, and how whatever that goal is has helped you develop as a person. That's something you're always going to have, and that's something you can always take into a new big goal that you want to achieve. So those are my 7 secrets to help you achieve the big goals in life. I hope you found these useful. If you did, please do like this video, give it a thumbs up, do leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. And do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and click the bell notification. That way you will always be notified whenever I release future videos just like this one. And do check out my website, that is selfhelpforlife.com. On my website you will find the written versions to many of these videos, along with links to my podcast and social media channels as well. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to sharing more great content with you very soon.